Hi everyone.
I wonder if we're live.
Are
I'm
we
not
live?
sure. I'm not sure if we're live.
Three,
Let's see.
two, one. Are we
Let's
live?
see. Let's see if we are live. Maybe not yet. I'm waiting for someone to confirm if we are live. Are we live? Not sure. Still waiting. Still no live signs. Oh, okay. We are live. Yeah, great. Wonderful. Welcome to Shinjuku.
It's
Welcome.
noisy Shinjuku.
Noisy Shinjuku. My first time here in over 8 months. And also my first time in over 8 months to see this lovely gentleman.
Hello.
Daniel, my long time friend, streaming colleague. So we're planning to do a little Shinjuku tour, I guess, today. Little walk around Shinjuku, see what has changed since my last time here, if anything. I think there are quite a few changes, actually. Maybe, how about we start by heading this way, where it's a little bit less crazy and chaotic. Let's see. And Daniel has kindly lended me his new Osmo Mobile 7 gimbal,
Yes.
as well as the DJI mics, because it's very windy today. So we thought it's best to mic ourselves up. So that's why it's not like his chest hair sticking up. It's actually the.
I'm like Zangief.
Zangief. So yeah, if you viewers have any requests here in Shinjuku, anything you would like me to check out, please let me know. This building is as skinny as it's always been. No major changes.
Oh, that's the new Kabukicho Tower.
Yeah, but that was already there when I left. So
That's true.
but I think the Odakyu building has been torn down now. I haven't seen
completely
that.
gone. It's
My
just
wife said it's kind of surreal. You, like when you're on that side in Shinjuku, you can suddenly see like to the other side, which is quite different. Not something we're used to. The gimbal feels very stable. It feels a bit more stable than what I'm used to. Or maybe it's just placebo. I don't know. The grass is always greener. But I mean, the previous one has been out for
like
over 2
well
years
over 2
now.
years.
And I don't know how many, probably a couple of hundreds live streams. So I guess it does wear out eventually. But yeah, Daniel, tell me, how are you? You just announced some big news on your channel the other day.
Yes, we did. We are going to be having a second baby.
Yay! Congratulations!
Due at the end of July.
So
right now we don't know
soon.
if it's a boy or a girl, but as far as we know, because we had to do NIPT like testing at the hospital, just to rule out any chance, just to see if there was any like Down syndrome or trisomy, because Yuka's a little bit older. Yeah. To be having a pregnancy. So, but that all came back clear. There's no problems, and the baby's growing healthy. So,
congratulations.
So we should find out the gender in the next month.
Okay.
And then we'll probably do like a gender reveal. So we'll do the
exciting.
scan and then keep the results in an envelope like last time, and then we'll like announce.
So anyone who's interested in the gender of Daniel and Yuka's second child needs to subscribe to their channel and switch on notifications.
Arigato.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
You know the deal. Let's see.
I actually walked through here coming to meet you, and it was like empty. It's so strange.
It usually is
empty.
during the daytime. Let's see. Omoide Yokocho. This place has gotten so super crowded and full of tourists in the last couple of years. But at least in the daytime, it's generally relatively quiet.
Hinting at sakura with the little things up top.
Yeah, sakura season is
just trying to
coming
attract
up soon,
the Instagrammers.
Yeah.
More
More tourists than locals. around here this time of the day.
I'm guessing more of the tourists will actually be arriving into Japan in the next week or two,
Yes.
just leading
yes.
into Sakura season.
Yes, yes. Starting like second half of the month, I have tons and tons of bookings for my photo shoots. But this first half of March is usually relatively quiet. Like from January to mid-March is one of the more quiet times of the year for my photography business. Yeah.
As you can see, there's a whole bunch of
Yeah.
demolition cranes and reconstruction
This is where the
cranes around.
Odaku building used to be, right? One of them. This is also Odaku, but I'm kind of sad that this bridge is gone now. I like the view from the bridge over this street.
Yep, it was quite nice.
Yeah. But yeah, what have you been up to? Like we were supposed to meet like half an hour before the stream was starting, so I thought it would give us enough time to catch up a little bit. But actually, you got a little bit late, so we just basically met and set up the equipment and have barely said hi. But besides the baby, what's new?
Well, this year has been quite busy for us because we've been running our Airbnb Ryokan hotel.
Right, you bought a property about a year ago?
It'll be a year in July. So yeah, it's been about 8 months. So I think we bought it just before you left, actually.
Yeah.
So, and then it took us about...
And it's like 4 apartments in a house, right?
Yeah.
And you renovated it and started your own little rental business.
Yes, we did.
Nice.
We did. So it's been doing well. It's been doing better than we anticipated.
Yeah.
Like given the location, we were a little bit uncertain.
Yeah, because you're a little bit far out. Like you're not in the central Tokyo really. You're on the border to Saitama.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's got really good connecting trains.
Yeah.
So we've got Tobu Tojo, Fukutoshin, and the Yurakucho line.
Yeah.
So we have like 2 different rapid trains and an F-liner express. So
yeah. And it's like what, 15 minutes to Ikebukuro, which is the nearest major station, I guess?
It's actually 8 minutes.
8 minutes if you take the express train. Wow, that's super quick.
And to get to Shinjuku is 28 minutes.
Okay.
And to get to Shibuya is 30 minutes.
Okay.
So yeah, sort of ticked all of our boxes that we didn't want to be like way out in like deep dark Saitama.
Yeah. No, and it's convenient because, I mean, Fukutoshin line, that means you have direct access to Ikebukuro, Shinjuku, and Shibuya, and Yokohama even.
Yes.
So it's not, it's a pretty useful line to be on.
And then what we found is quite convenient is for a lot of our guests who are arriving from Haneda Airport, there's a direct bus that goes straight to Wakoshi Station.
Oh, okay.
So then, that's such a godsend when people are arriving after a long flight and they've got their luggage and it's their first time to Japan.
Yeah, no, the airport buses are super convenient. We use them all the time too. Or like I do when I'm traveling alone. When we're all of us, we usually take a taxi. But if it's just me, then I take the bus from Futako Tamagawa. It's surprisingly convenient.
So we've had a pretty diverse range of nationalities staying with us. But recently we've sort of been back to back South Koreans.
Okay.
Which is quite interesting.
Maybe there's like some holiday or something. I don't know.
Just trying to escape the minus 15 degrees
that too.
of Seoul.
Yeah, I remember the first time I went to South Korea was actually in the winter, and I was expecting it to be kind of like similar
Like
weather
Tokyo.
to here, because when you look at a map, it doesn't really look like there's
over
any
there.
drastic difference in latitude, right? But the winters
hot.
there are cold. There
It's
are
really brutal.
they're
It's
really
sort of
brutal.
more like Sapporo,
yeah.
I think, like snow, ice, huge icicles that actually are quite risky, and if they don't clear them, then they can impale people.
Yeah, well, like in Sweden. That's what I'm used to in Sweden.
Sweden has death icicles.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And like also snow falling down from the rooftops. And, it happens. There are accidents every now and then. Icicles impaling people are maybe not super common, but
That's sort of like being struck by lightning.
it could technically happen because we have icicles and we have people, and if you combine the two and add a bit of velocity, then bad things can happen. So I'm thinking let's go down towards
Down
the
that
kind of skyscraper district, which I'm always enjoying, and then maybe the little residential district around there. Yeah, it looks,
sort of seems the
it looks kind of
skyline's
weird.
different, doesn't it?
I'm assuming, or I'm not sure. I wonder if they will tear down this one too. Maybe not. I don't know how. Someone asked how old the building was that got torn down. I don't know, but
I'm
I think
sure.
it's quite old, like 50-ish years or so, which by
Sure, it
Japanese
would have been
standards
built in
is
the bubble
pretty old.
period.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, James. Thank you. Been ages,
Arigato,
mate.
James.
Great to see you back. Thank you. It's great to be back. Great to be back.
Welcome to Shinjuku Dungeon.
Whoa. A pixelated version of Shinjuku Gyoen. That's cool.
Pixel art composed of pointillism. That kind of makes me want to play a game.
Yeah. Have you been playing any games recently?
I have been playing a little bit of games late at night, and now I've got a little bit of free time. I've actually been playing the new Dragon Age Veilguard, which was very controversial for being very woke and everything, but I'm only playing it because it was free on PlayStation Plus this month. And if all the wokeness aside, the actual gameplay is quite fun.
Okay.
So I think it sort of got blown out of proportion a bit.
I haven't played any Dragon Age games actually. But I was playing quite a bit, more than usual when I was in Sweden, because I didn't have that much else to do.
Wilds.
Yeah.
And the new Yakuza pirates in Hawaii.
Yeah, but so I started playing it on Steam. Then after playing it, and I bought all the DLC. I was playing all of it. Then I thought I'll try it on Switch and just play the base game to kind of remember what it was like. And then I realized, there's a mobile version as well. So now I have it on my phone as well. So I play it sometimes on the trains. That game is, the good thing is that one round just takes 15 minutes or 30 minutes if you play in normal mode. But I usually play in the hyper mode, as it's called. Then it's just 15 minutes. But the bad thing is that as soon as you finish one round, I want to play another one.
That's kind of the addictive thing about roguelike games, isn't it?
Yeah. And the guy who made it, it's made by this one Italian dude, and he used to work for an online casino company. So he kind of mixed in a lot of those, all the nasty tricks they use to make gamblers, like casino gamblers,
hooked,
addicted. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd
say the game that's most similar to that for me would be Balatro. The rogue card game.
Yeah, I haven't played it.
I played it for
I'm
4 hours
actively
yesterday.
avoiding it because it's enough to have one game like that. But I know that game is also very, very
it just
dangerous.
scratches a lot of those itches,
Yeah.
like the retro nostalgia of like the really pixelized art. And
Yeah. But now that I'm back in Japan, I expect my game time to be reduced considerably because I can instead go and do things like reflection reveals.
Reflection reveal. Hopefully it's distorted enough.
Yeah, pretty distorted.
And no one could really see your hair.
Yeah, yeah,
Not even Mr. Miyazaki.
yeah. And the hair is the cornerstone of my personality. So without showing the hair, I'm not showing myself.
Okay.
Yes, now we are walking on the west side of Shinjuku Station, that's right. And I'm sorry, chat, because when I'm walking with someone, I always find it extremely difficult to also
Focus on chat.
focus on the chat, so I'm not really reading all the messages. Sorry about that.
Have you been to, there's like a Family Mart or a 7-Eleven nearby here that has a bar in it?
No?
It's got like a
I've been
whiskey
there.
bar. It's like really close to the municipal government building.
Okay. Shall we have a look, maybe?
Yeah.
Is it interesting enough?
It's quite interesting because they
Haircut
sell like
is needed. Well, I mean, guys, I'm wearing this, so I'm not sure how much of my hair you can see
Back of
and
the
judge
head
me
reveal.
on. It is pretty cold today, but not as bad as yesterday. Now it's 10 degrees. It was like 2 degrees.
And
when
the
I
day
did
before, it was
Yeah,
snowing.
Yeah.
Did you get snow out at Furuko Tamagawa?
Huh?
Out
Yeah,
at Nekotama?
tiny, like somewhere between snow and slush.
Okay.
It didn't really stay on the ground.
Okay.
How about in the north of Tokyo? The cold north,
Are we north? I think we're kind of
northwest?
northwest, yeah. It snowed quite a lot actually. Not enough to build a snowman unless I like collected a lot, but it was about that much of snow.
Okay.
A good 2 inches. My car was covered.
Yeah, right. You got a car as well.
Yes.
That I remember we talked
And
about
you
that. Yeah, I got
got
my
a driver's
license and we're
license.
about to get a car as well.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Congratulations. This is the new and improved 2.0 of TE.
Yeah, I guess so.
You leveled up.
I leveled up, yeah.
That's how much snow I had on.
That's interestingly distorted with the ultra wide angle. But yeah, okay, yeah, a bit of snow, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. It kind of rolled down with the rain in the morning, and it sort of turned into like a crepe, like a snow crepe.
Yeah, looks delicious.
Where is that municipal building? 380 meters that way.
Nice day. Well, it's very grey and gloomy and very windy as well, so it's not terribly nice, to be honest, but it's okay.
Hopefully the mic is eliminating all of the
Yeah,
wind.
can you
is
guys hear us well? Do you hear wind noise? Look at this sexy chest hair. Yeah, this building was a source of inspiration for Sony when they designed the PlayStation.
So Kyle got to see snow for the very first time just before they left for Kagoshima. So
Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Yeah, when we're done with this stream, I will show you some videos of Mini Explorer in the snow. She really enjoyed. She loved ice skating, playing in the snow, building snowmen. So I'm so glad we did the whole Sweden move, even if things didn't work out there for us. But just so that she could kind of experience the same thing as I did as a kid, that means the world to me.
So did you do the traditional Swedish Christmas kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean not overly traditional. It was just me and my wife, daughter, and my mom. But we had a little Christmas tree in her house, and we tricked our daughter into believing that Santa Claus came to visit through the window. No, we didn't do the whole dressing up thing. We were more like we opened the window and left some presents on her bed, and then as well as a Santa Claus hat.
That sort of makes Santa seem a bit.
We said Santa was very busy. He didn't have time to stop by, but he at least came with some presents. And yeah, that was fun. Actually, here I've been told off once from streaming.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, basically you're not allowed to walk on this side of the line. Then you're on private property and you're not allowed to use a camera.
Okay.
So.
Well, I can see security guards
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah. And also, I think the same thing happened over there somewhere on another building. Not sure if it was. I don't think I was live streaming. I was doing a photo shoot, a portrait session, and we find a nice corner with some good light. But no, we were not allowed to take photos there.
Yeah, Japan has some pretty strange laws about like professional photography and things like that.
Yeah.
Some places you can if it's just for personal use, but
Yeah.
if they think that there's money changing hands,
Yeah.
then yeah.
It's a little bit random, and very often they draw the line with if you use a tripod, then it's professional. But sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes they judge it by the size of the camera and whatnot.
If you've got like a huge mega lens,
Yeah,
mega zoom lens
yeah.
or something. Oh, but I'm just taking some bird photography or something.
I'm just studying the local bird life here. What else? I was thinking about something. Oh yeah, have Kyle started like preschool, or how old is Kyle now?
He is 14 months.
14 months, okay.
So it's still a little bit early for preschool.
Yeah.
I've got some friends in Australia who had a baby, and the baby's 9 months old and started daycare in Australia, and I'm like, what? 9 months? That's so early.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, some parents doesn't have a choice, right? It
Yeah,
really
yeah,
depends.
that's true.
Me and my wife often talks about that too, and like how, we're so
Kinda
blessed
lucky
with,
to
with
have that
doing what we
flexibility.
do and being able to control our own time. Now, actually, we decided to shorten the number of hours. Mini Explorer is in the preschool, because before, and like lots of other kids, they come there like 8:30 and they get picked up at like 6.
6.
That's
a full-time job for the kids.
Yeah, it's even longer than a normal work day. And also, like after Sweden, so she went to such like the perfect preschool, I would say. Like it was very small, very cozy, 25 kids, 5 teachers, in a very nice old building. Then coming back to her huge preschool here with like 150 or 200 kids, and just the noise levels here are so high, so much higher at the preschool. They don't have anything to dampen the sound. They haven't really, they don't seem to think of that as a problem. And I just feel like no.
The sort of exposure to Tokyo life, like Shinjuku station.
So. Yeah.
All of the major train stations are like a cacophony
Yeah.
of sound, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
Let's go down here. So yeah, now she's going for like about 7 hours a day, which is already it's long enough.
7 hours still
7
seems
hours,
like
yeah.
quite a long time, though.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's
it's shorter
slightly
than
more
what
than
you used
part
to.
time.
Yeah, but we are 2 full-time working parents, but even though we have quite a bit of flexibility, but there's always work for us. But now we have incentive to be as efficient as possible, so that we can pick her up a little bit earlier and have a bit more family time as well. Not just pick her up and then like feed her and put her to sleep, which is kind of sad when you think about it.
Yep, becoming a parent, you definitely do appreciate like the quality time with your kids, don't you?
Yeah. I would say balance is key, right? Because it's raining a little. Oh, look at this.
It's a little
That's
danger
a
zone.
beautiful little cone
It could be a sinkhole.
contraption. That could be a sinkhole, yeah. Or just a display of affection to the ground. Yeah, balance is key, I think. Like, I sometimes feel like after a long weekend or like a holiday or something, then I feel like, okay, now it's good to be separated for a bit, and you know, I don't have much headspace when my daughter is around, because she's still demanding 100% attention.
It's very hard to try and focus on something or hyper focus on a task when you have to deal with.
I mean, I've given up on that a long time ago. Like when she's around, there's zero chance of being productive. It's just about her, which is, of course, the way it should be. But as someone who also is quite passionate about my job and what I do, I want to have some time to properly focus on those things as well. So maybe head over to the park. Wow, the rain is picking up a little bit. Not the most pleasant weather, but we're fine so far. Did you get the iPhone 16 yet? Wait.
No, I didn't.
No? Have they fixed? You used to have some problems with Prism and iPhone 15. Were those eventually sorted out? Or?
Yes, they did. They did all get fixed.
Okay.
But it took them about 7 months to actually finally fix it. Like, I ended up using a beta version of Prism that they sent me, because I seem to be one of the only people messaging Prism saying, hey, why is this feature not working? It should be working. It was working before this update, and then they said, oh, okay, try this, and then we'll analyze the logs and try and identify it, and then they identified it and fixed it. So yeah, it was quite interesting and kind of fun to be part of that process to help improve Prism for lots of other people.
Thanks for the support you're
purely voluntary though.
Yeah,
it was purely voluntary. There was, but yeah, I personally didn't really see much of a big improvement for the 16 Pro Max.
I haven't seen enough reason to upgrade from the 14 to 15 either. So I think, who knows what happens with the 17? But yeah.
Main things I'm focused on is increased battery life, and I think the cameras are sort of getting to how much better can you get?
Yeah.
Apart from like mega ultra zoom and I don't know, 5x optical zoom is quite good. 10 would be better, but
improved Prism, says Brad Ward. No, Prism. That's the software we use when we stream. So maybe let's cross here.
What is this?
It's Park Hyatt over there. Yeah, someone mentioned Park Hyatt in the chat.
Oh yes, Park Hyatt is down there.
But the iPhone 23 will be embedded in behind the ear. Yeah, who knows? Around here, things looks like they always did, at least for as long as I can remember. Where we at? So we're next to Shinjuku Chuo-kwan, which is what it says on that sign over there. Let's zoom in. There we go. Shinjuku Chuo-kwan.
So we'll have to walk over the bridge.
Yeah, we'll go through the park and then we continue down this residential area there, which is quite nice. And yeah.
Have you been around by Tokyo Station?
No.
Because they're building that
This is
huge.
actually my first visit to central Tokyo
Central
since I
Tokyo.
came back 2 weeks ago. I've only stayed out in my local neighborhood until now. So yeah. Anything new around there?
They're building a huge building like Tokyo Flame or something.
Oh yeah, Tokyo Torch. I
Torch.
think it's called.
Tokyo Torch.
It's gonna be the highest building in Tokyo or in all of Japan when it's completed. Yeah, I guess it's starting to take form now. Like
Yes.
last time I
Yes,
was
it
there,
is.
I think it was just a big hole in the ground.
Just digging all the foundation.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you've got a driver's license now.
Yeah.
And you're investigating a car for Tokyo.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah.
Any options? Are you thinking more family kind or
Yeah,
like
family car. Like basically
Yeah.
our priorities are safe and good fuel economy. So we'll see where we will end up. And tomorrow we're actually driving to Yamanashi.
Oh, Yamanashi.
We're going on a little family trip. So we'll be borrowing my mother-in-law's car.
Yamanashi.
We've been borrowing that quite often when we've gone
That's
on trips.
Shizuoka, is it? Or
Huh?
is it Shizuoka? I've been to Yamanashi.
Yamanashi Prefecture is north of
West.
Shizuoka, north
North
of
of-
Mount Fuji. Kofu is the biggest city.
Chofu.
Kofu.
Oh, Kofu, yes.
Kofu,
Yeah, I've been there. One of Yuka's good friends, who was her bridesmaid, actually lives in Kofu.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we're going on a little family trip. It's my wife's sister's birthday. So we're all just gonna go stay at a little onsen hotel for 2 nights. Our daughter loves her aunt, so it's gonna be nice to do something like that together. And she loves onsens and bathing too. So yeah, it will be a nice little family trip. Hopefully the weather will be a little bit better. No major
I think I
changes
can
here
hear
in the park.
skateboarders. Skaters there. One's lone
Yeah.
skater.
Let's head down this way maybe. But yeah, I like this gimbal. I think I will get one. It's a very important work tool for
It
for
is.
us, right? So
It
we
is
need
a
to
necessity.
keep it in good shape. Yeah. And maybe I will also splurge on the DJI mic because it's really good. I actually hope to do more videos with people in the future. So it's good to have something solid.
Start
I
a
bought some like
series.
super cheap wireless mic a year or 2 ago, but they're not that reliable and the audio quality is not great. So I think it's worth splurging. Do you stream much these days? Or?
Well, we
too
started
busy?
a second live stream only channel,
Okay,
which is Daniel and Yuka Live.
okay.
And we're just slowly trying to get that up for monetization. So
Yeah.
I think we're at like 388 subscribers
Okay.
and we need to get 500. So we've already got the
yes.
watch time. So
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
got like nearly 4,000 hours of watch time.
Okay.
So please subscribe to the Daniel and Yuka Live channel.
Yeah.
Onegaishimasu. Please
You
help us
should.
hit 500 and at least get something. How's
So on the
your
old channel, you're just posting like pre-recorded videos now?
pre-recorded, and we're doing like one live stream a month. Like,
Oh,
yeah, just for big events
okay.
on that. So like
Like pregnancy announcements.
pregnancy announcement, Kyle's first birthday,
I see.
Chinatown
Yeah.
for Chinese New Year, that kind
yeah.
of stuff.
I see.
How's your Japanese? Did you use much Japanese when you were living in Sweden?
So. Like at first we tried to really focus on Swedish because we wanted our
Total
daughter to
immersion.
learn Swedish.
Yeah.
Then once she kind of got Swedish nailed down, and when she started the preschool there and she got really fluent in Swedish, then actually it felt like she was forgetting the Japanese.
Okay.
So in December, my wife actually went to Japan with her just for 10 days,
Okay.
just to kind of let her,
Grandparents here and like,
and
hey,
to kind
don't,
of
don't forget your mother tongue.
yeah. And after that trip, that's when it really kind of like snapped, and she really
switch.
became bilingual. Now it's like you know, she can really, she never uses the wrong language. Like she knows when to speak Japanese, she knows when to speak Swedish, she can express herself in both languages. It's truly amazing. It's you know, I've been struggling with Japanese for 15, 16 years, and then now my daughter is like just, you know,
Nihongo jozu.
yeah, just killing it. Like her Japanese is probably better than mine, and her Swedish is better than my wife's. She corrects my wife like when she speaks Swedish. So yeah, it's really like if you ever have the chance with Kyle and the new one, at some point I highly recommend you let them immerse, even if it's just for 6 months, but it makes a huge difference. But yeah, how are you guys thinking about like the language?
Well,
like-
at home, Yuka and I mainly speak English.
Yeah.
So Carl's Japanese. Yuka speaks to him in Japanese. I read Japanese kids books to him, and like we mix it up a little bit with TV. So he might watch one episode of Curious George in English and then one episode in Japanese.
Yeah.
So it's still the same concept and same characters, and he can. So that seems to be working.
Yeah. My daughter, it's kind of, well, we kind of created a YouTube Kids account for her, and we like pre-approved a lot of channels, and it's a mix of Swedish, Japanese, and English. So she watches a lot of things in English too, and she's really like, I think when it's time for her to start learning English, I don't think it will be a problem for her, but it's not something that we're actively teaching her yet. We're focusing on Swedish and Japanese for now. But yeah, it's really fascinating and so enjoyable to see your child develop their speaking ability. Does Kyle speak? Has he started yet?
He's kind of saying dada, mama, and he's like kind of babbling like he's pseudo talking.
Yeah.
So that's a good progression step.
Yeah.
And he's not like reading books. He'll look at books and he'll like sometimes they're upside down, but the intent is there. He's only 14 months, I don't think he's like
still got some time to go.
He's still got a bit of time.
Yeah.
So
no, our daughter, she can kind of read, like she knows the alphabet. She can read certain words, like she knows, for example, when she was in Swedish preschool, they had like specific spots on the floor where they were sitting in the morning. So she got used to reading all the other kids' names. And then now when she sees that same name somewhere else, she immediately recognizes it, and she can write her own name, she can write my name, her mom's name.
That was quite interesting. There was not an ambulance, it was a Tokyo Gas truck. I did not know that they had sirens and stuff like that, but I guess it kind of makes sense. If there's a problem,
there's a gas
they need to
emergency,
hustle.
which does not refer to eating too much enchilada, but actually some accident happening somewhere.
don't think I've walked around this area before. I've been
I'm-
close, but not this.
One of the first places I lived in Tokyo, when I was a language student here back in 2010, I actually lived a couple of 100 meters down this big road here. So,
Nishi Shinjuku
yeah,
Rokujome.
it's a bit nostalgic area for me because back then I often walked to Shinjuku station and I passed through this skyscraper district, which was like super exotic and amazing to me because I wasn't used to seeing dense and tall buildings before
Big,
ever
huge
in my life.
skyscrapers.
Yeah, so it was really like, oh yeah, I live in Tokyo now. That was a pretty exciting feeling.
Yeah, so we've sort of been doing a lot more live streams in different places, like not so much central Tokyo now. Like we sort of started a Saitama series because there's
Okay.
like 10 different prefectures, and Saitama's actually, it gets a bad rap from
Yeah,
Tokyoites.
yeah.
They're like, oh,
Yeah,
those
the Saitama.
Inaka
Yeah.
dudes
Yeah.
up in the Tumbo
Yeah.
up there.
Saitama is actually nice. I mean, it
Saitama
has
is
a lot
really
of good
beautiful.
stuff going
It's
for
got
it.
a lot of history.
Yeah,
It's got
yeah.
a lot of touristy kind of things
Yeah.
like Kawagoe.
Yeah.
Like we recently, like last weekend, we went up to where was it? Ishikawa, I think.
Ishikawa?
No. Right.
Is there
hang on.
Ishikawa in Saitama?
Sorry, we went to a Hinamatsuri place. Iwatsuki, sorry.
Okay.
Iwatsuki.
Iwatsuki. Okay, Iwatsuki. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been there.
So they had like a Hinamatsuri like festival there because they make a lot of Hinamatsuri dolls
Okay.
there. So yeah, it was a very, very nice Saitama town.
Yeah.
But it's sort of walking around there, it did sort of remind me a lot of like one of those edge cities or towns that a lot of English teachers get posted at when they first come to Japan
Yeah.
to work at like a language school or something like Nova or
Yeah.
it's kind of close to Kasukabe.
Kasukabe. Oh, yeah. I see. Yeah, I haven't really, of all these like neighboring prefectures to Tokyo, Saitama is probably one that I've been to the least. I've even been probably more to Chiba than Saitama actually. But there are, especially I would like to explore the mountainous regions of Saitama, like Nagatoro and the Chichibu. I think that's Saitama. Okutama is Tokyo still.
It is.
Yeah.
I saw John Dalb just dropped a video yesterday. And,
Okay.
And he went up like right as far west Tokyo.
Yeah.
Like there's like a little mountaintop village that he went to.
Okay.
And it looked surprisingly interesting. And he said something that I thought was quite interesting, was that Tokyo actually expands all the way down to like some islands, down to
Yeah.
almost
The
down
islands
by
on the bay.
Okinawa.
Yeah. The southernmost tip of Tokyo is like really, really far south. It's the Ogasawara Islands, right?
That's, yeah.
Which are
Ogasawara.
really, really far south. That's like one of my dream destinations in Japan that I would like to go somewhere someday. And I've also been thinking about doing like walks at the most extreme points of Tokyo. That's like an idea that's been on my one to-do list for a really long time, and that would also mean going far up in the mountains in Okutama. Maybe that's where he went. So that could be fun at some point.
And then you've got like a longer stream that you wanted to finish off as well.
The what?
You had like a series of streams. There's like one which is unfinished.
Yeah, I have this river walk.
A river walk.
So I have the Tamagawa Josui, which is this, I believe it's an old man-made irrigation river from the Edo era that starts up in the far west of Tokyo, close to, I believe it's Haijima.
Haijima?
Is the station where I started that walk, and it actually goes all the way to Shinjuku, maybe even further. I'm not sure, but it actually on the other side of this skyscraper district. There's Tamagawa Josui. It's covered. In once you get closer to central Tokyo, it becomes a covered river. But I started that one long time ago, like maybe 3 years ago, and so far I've only made it to, I believe the stop is called Tamagawa Josui on the Tachikawa monorail. There's a station there, so I walked to that point, and the plan was to continue all the way into central Tokyo following that river. But because it just takes me so long just to get to that, to the starting point. But I intend to, maybe sooner rather than later, I intend to continue that series, yeah. Do you have any walks like that you would like to do?
I'd quite like to do like the Sakura tram loop.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of a nice.
It's cute. I've done that.
Cute
yeah.
Walk.
I think it took me 2 walks. It can probably be done in a day. I mean, considering you did Yamanote line in a day, so you can certainly pull off the Sakura tram.
Well, hopefully with the new gimbal, with its greatly improved battery life.
Yeah. Does this gimbal, can you actually charge the phone from it as well?
Yes, you can.
You could, because I think they removed that function in the 6, which was kind of a bummer, because that's very useful to know that you can always easily top up the phone if necessary. Now finally we are starting to reach
Get
more
into some residential
comfortable areas. Yeah. There's just something about the residential areas in Tokyo that it never gets old to me.
Dramatic room.
Dramatic room.
Dun, dun, dun.
I wonder what kind of drama is going on in there.
Sort of looks like magic, like magical cups, or are they lamps? It's dramatic. Where are we?
We are here. We're on the border to Nakanoku.
So we just entered Shinjuku.
We're close to Kanda River. Actually, Kanda River is very nice. That's also like a river walk that I want to do at some point. It goes all the way to the city center as well. So Shinjuku Station is up here.
Okubo.
Yeah. Okubo Station. Shinjuku. Here it also says to Shinjuku Station, but I guess it's more this way then. These signs are so nice when they, make this little drawing and gives you a little bit
retro, but this is probably like 40 plus years old, I'd say.
It says Heisei Gonen.
Heisei Gonen.
So I believe that's, probably about 40 years ago. Wait, Heisei started a few years after I was born. So maybe Gonen is around 1990?
Okay.
Yeah, because I was born in the Showa. You were also
I think
Showa.
I'm Showa 5.
5? No.
No.
Showa, maybe
Showa
55.
55.
Or something
Showa
like
55, sorry. Yes.
If you're Showa 5, you're very old.
Showa 5, I'd be like 100.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me just check a little bit. I could finish the walk with a Starlink terminal mounted on a backpack. Tamagawa Josu, 40 kilometers long waterway to provide drinking water to old Tokyo Edo, built in early 1600s. Completed in just 8 months. Wow. So to give you a bit of context, that's the Kabukicho Tower over there, far in the distance now. We passed it in the beginning of the stream.
It doesn't really feel that far away.
No,
like it seems like we walked a lot further.
We did a big kind of big
loop.
L-shaped walk so far, yeah. But I'm thinking like maybe we can continue down this way for a little while and then kind of start heading back towards the city again. 1984 is Showa 59.
Yeah. So Yuka's Showa 59, I'm 55.
Yuka is
Showa 59.
Oh, okay.
So she's 4 years younger than me.
I see. Justin asks, Tokyo Explorer, out of curiosity, what's your earliest memory of Daniel?
Earliest memory of Daniel?
Earliest memory of Daniel.
When did we first meet?
Was it the first time when we met together with Rambalak? Or don't remember.
I think it must have been one time at least before that.
Maybe. How long is it now since you came to Japan? 3 years?
I'm in my 4th year now.
4th year, okay.
So we came October 21.
Okay. Yeah,
Right in the
my
middle of
first
COVID.
memory is like that we met in Yoyogi Park with Rambalak, but maybe we did actually meet once even before that. I don't remember. But yeah, I thought at first you were a little bit pushy because you really wanted to meet up, and I'm a little bit of an introvert. But I really do appreciate. Yeah. And you know, we both do YouTube and all that, so I'm really grateful. And you really helped kind of shaping this little community of other YouTubers that I've been enjoying hanging out with. But yeah, I'm always a little bit difficult when it comes to meeting new people in the beginning. It takes a bit of warming up. But I'm glad you were persistent and convinced me to meet up.
Yeah, I've got good memories of like meeting up for your birthday and going away party. The first time you went to Sweden.
Yeah, it felt very sad this time. You know, I had my birthday 2 months ago almost now, and last year we had a very nice time in Shibuya, right?
Yes.
With all the other. Asagi was there. That was the first time for me to meet her as well.
Tokyo Lens.
Yeah, that's right. He was there too. Yeah, and we went to my old joint Beat Cafe, which was a lot of fun.
Lots of fun. I think Asagi's been quite busy because she had a baby as well.
Yeah.
So I think her son is a few months older than Kyle.
Okay. Yeah. So we're in northern Shinjuku now, Kita Shinjuku. It's really, I don't know, I like this central Tokyo residential neighborhood. And it's always so amazing how quickly
kind of
the
interesting,
contrast
isn't it?
Yeah,
It's sort of like got a
interesting
castle,
architecture.
Circular stairwell, maybe that is. Big, huge, beautiful rooftop garden. Very different to Swedish architecture.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
Yeah, it is. I like this, how eclectic Tokyo can be. You have like small one-family homes next to skyscrapers and everything in between. And look at this.
Beautiful.
This is a very nice, beautiful ume, but actually I'm more interested in this old looking mansion behind with the pointy,
Oh yeah, with the pointy balconies.
balconies. Yeah, this mansion is probably super old, meaning 50 years or something like that. It's really like, yeah, the old Japan, like semi-modern, like post-war era. They were popping up
Sort of
buildings
looks
like
a
that.
little bit like a dunchi.
Yeah,
bit.
it does.
I actually really like this house here. It's just so cute, and we're
Yeah,
so
it's
close
beautiful.
to Kabukicho, and it's got a garden, and wow. They are very strong-willed and will not sell to
Yeah,
property developers
yeah.
over my dead body.
Yeah. Yeah, you see that a lot in Japan, right?
Oh,
It's
here's
like-
some white and red cones.
Oh.
I was trying to find some interesting safety cones for Raycone mod.
for
For Raycone mod while you were away. What were safety cones like in Sweden? Just kind
they're
of
not
normal?
that common. I mean, you see them from time to time, but not super often. Here's a Christian church,
Yeah.
which is always a little bit odd to see in Japan.
Tokyo Biblical Seminary moved from Kanda to this location in 1904 and started its ministry to train God's men and women for his ministry. The school moved to Higashi Murayama in 1963. So it's 121 years old. It's so quiet here compared to where we started the stream in Shinjuku, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm glad it stopped raining.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why it's so enjoyable to walk in Tokyo, right? All these contrasts and how quickly things can change. And then, like in a neighborhood like this, you might stumble across like a lovely little coffee shop somewhere, or like this cute little, looks like a rice shop.
Did you notice prices have gone up since?
Yeah, a little bit.
you
Yes,
were
especially
away?
groceries.
Rice has gone up a lot. And a
Rice
lot
is
of
up. Yeah,
news.
vegetables are up
5 kilos of rice
quite
is
significantly
now
too. Yeah,
4,500 yen.
yeah. And here we can do a little
Oh, they've got a slide.
sad playground review. This is, I would say, on
Let's
my
keep quiet at night.
sadness
and early
scale, where 5 is the most like completely sad playground, and 1 is not sad at all.
morning. Okay.
I would say-
what does it have going for it? It's got a slide. It's got chairs.
Yeah.
It's got a sand pit.
There's a
It
tree,
has a public
2
toilet.
trees,
2 trees.
and a public toilet. I don't know
But
if
no
public
grass.
toilet is actually a good thing or not. I mean,
got a
they're
drinking
definitely
fountain.
useful in a park, but they also tend to attract a kind of people that are maybe not always desirable in a playground.
But it looks like a fairly
But it looks
modern
clean.
toilet.
It looks clean. I would say this is a pretty solid 4 out of 5.
And it's not a Japanese style toilet.
Okay.
It's like a Western toilet.
Okay. Yeah, a Western toilet. Okay. Not too
I've seen worse toilets.
unclean. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if I would take, this is not the kind of playground I would be too happy taking my daughter to. And especially like the sandbox is sealed off, like you're not even allowed to play there.
I think it's only sealed off because they don't want cats coming.
Okay.
So
okay.
if you want to use it, you just like lift it up and use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's just
Okay.
like an anti-cat.
Okay, so
and
then it's actually
anti-dog.
not bad. Then it's not bad. Okay. Sadness. I still think 4
No
out of
camping,
5.
no fireworks, no loud music, no feeding pigeons, no alcohol, no soccer or baseball. Well, it's kind of a bit small for baseball or soccer or golf, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't say that you're not allowed to drink alcohol. It just said that you're not allowed to annoy people because of drinking alcohol. So it would be okay to have a beer break there.
Oh, you're tempting me now. That sounds pretty good. A beer break. I'd be down for that. A welcome back beer to celebrate.
Yeah. Want to do that?
Yeah. Damn straight I want to do that.
Okay. Let's do a little
I
beer
haven't
break
had a
now.
social drink for a very long time.
I did a beer break on my first walk, my solo night walk in Futako.
Did you miss Japanese beer living in Sweden?
I wouldn't say that I missed Japanese beer. I don't think Japanese beer in itself is that special, but I've missed the convenience stores, and I miss being able to just spontaneously pop into a convenience and grab a beer, whatever time it is of the day. In Sweden, sales of alcohol
Mini
is...
tiny cones. Baby cones.
Baby cones. They're cute.
They're pretty cute.
They're cute. So yeah, in Sweden you can only buy alcohol at one state-owned chain,
Oh, wow. Okay.
which has pretty limited opening hours. Like I think it's closed entirely on Sundays, at least in the town where we were living, and they close at like 6 o'clock. So
That's not very conducive for a late night beer break, is it?
no.
What do you
Basically,
think of this house here? Do you reckon that's an
this
Akia?
looks like it's
Nature is taking over.
probably an
from there.
Akia, yeah.
What do you reckon a house like that would be worth if you could find it in this location so close to Kabukicho and Shinjuku?
The house itself is probably just a liability, not without any worth, but the land, probably, I don't know, at least Ichioku. I don't know the land prices around here, to be honest. But I'm guessing that there are probably a lot of people who would be happy to build a new house.
Buy that and demolish
Yeah.
it and redevelop
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, like it does seem a little bit higher density. We're getting a little bit higher density.
Yeah, I mean, this
Accommodation.
area that we're walking through now is not really by any means fancy.
Is it a Lions
If you look at
mansion?
all the buildings, it's pretty... Huh?
This is not a lion's mansion, but they're
No, it's
copying.
not like Palais Saison.
They're really copying
Yeah.
like the font,
Yeah.
the typography, the logo.
Yeah,
Is that
it does
kind of
look
a
very much
lion?
like
It could
Lion's
be like
Mansion. Yeah,
like a panther maybe, or
yeah. So yeah, let's have a look at the map and see if we can find a good... I mean, there's a liquor shop straight ahead.
yeah, that looks like an old school.
So if you want to pop in there maybe and get us 2 beers, then we can find, let's see, where are we now? Kita Shinjuku.
There's a Lawson 100 down there.
Okay.
I'm guessing the liquor shop.
There's a
would
Kita
probably-
Shinjuku Park, 5 minutes from here.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we head over there? I'm not sure if I've ever been to that park.
So there's a Lawson down
Okay.
there, then Olympic.
Okay.
I'm just thinking that liquor shop looks like it's going to be focused more on sake.
Well, it says biru.
Oh yeah, beer. Okay, beer, wine. Okay, yeah, sure.
Let's go there.
It's kind of quaint.
It's more fun to support local
true,
stores like
that's
that
true.
than the boring mega chains. Yeah. 170 people watching now. They all want to see you, your pretty
They want to
face.
see me.
They want to see your pretty face.
Please subscribe to the live channel on Onegaishimasu. I wonder if we picked up any subscribers. I'll check. Where do we? Well, we picked up 6. Arigato.
Oh, that's good. Good. That's our
106 to
promotion
go to get
managed
to
to get you a
500.
few more viewers. Yeah, I started a new channel when I moved to Sweden. Or actually, I recycled an old abandoned gaming channel that I had. But anyway, I managed to get that up to 1,000 plus subs and monetize it before I left. So
That's good.
it took me less than 6 months to get it monetized. I'm kind of proud about that. I did work quite hard though. I posted very regularly. Okay, let's not be annoying in here. Let's just get a beer. And do you have cash?
Yes, I do.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. Oh, what will I have? I might. Sorry, I'll just scooch over to the
Yep.
side. It's so cute having the little baby beers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll grab.
You're child free right now.
I am
I'm
child free.
supposed to pick up my daughter in a couple of hours.
Konnichiwa. Itchy. $5.51. So if I
Do you need? Let me see. I might have
51.
something in here.
Just to make it a little easy. Hey, arigato
Arigato
gozaimasu.
gozaimasu.
Man, I wonder how long this place has been here.
Domo deshita.
Arigato.
Very cute little local liquor shop.
And the
And,
beer
very
was
cute.
cheaper inside than the vending machine.
Yeah,
70 yen cheaper. So,
that's good. That's good.
approximately.
70 yen? Was it?
Well, it was 5. because that's. It could actually be about the same.
Yeah, I think it's about the
320.
same.
Plus 250, 20 yen cheaper. 20
Yeah.
yen cheaper.
Anyway, let's head down to the park. Oh, looks like there's some construction work going on here, but it also looks like we might be able to actually pass it. And I think, yeah, if we just continue straight here, we will get to the park.
I guess we're stress testing the DJ mic.
Yeah. Hey, Daniel. Just sending a little selfie of us to my wife. Yeah, good stress test for the mic indeed.
Yeah, definitely stress testing it. Can you guys hear our voices over this incredibly loud
Yeah, I wonder if people can
construction
hear us.
equipment?
I cannot hear you. Now I can maybe.
I would be guessing maybe the local ward is, because it's getting up to the end of financial year, so they're trying
Yeah.
to spend their
Yeah, unused money.
unused-
That's right.
refurbishment budget.
Yeah, yeah.
That often happens.
Yes,
at the end
yes.
of
There are a
fiscal
lot
year.
of these kind of like, I mean, I wouldn't say this is unnecessary. They probably needed to replace that concrete, but many areas of Japan have these like roads to nowhere that are basically just built because the local government had some excess money to get rid of. So even though there's like no demand, they sometimes build like roads just to keep the economy going.
So,
Lemmy's in the chat. Hello, Lemmy. How are
hi,
you?
Lemmy-chan.
How are you? Let's meet up sometime soon. Let's stream together sometime soon. Did we have a little technical glitch while we were in the liquor shop? Sounds
What's
like
the
it.
signal?
We lost like 50 viewers.
Where did 50 viewers go? Come back.
I think park should be this way.
Sorry.
Is it not? Let me check the map again. Where are we? Where are we? Yes, this way. That's the Kabukicho Tower again.
And
It's a
those
good
oranges look
landmark.
so juicy.
Yeah.
Oh, you can just see the tip of Kabukicho.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a little tip of it.
Oh, and
Peeking over the top.
bit of ume.
Sakura.
Ume.
Ume. Yes. It doesn't have the little dent in it. Very, very, very cute.
Oh, stream went dead when we were actually in the store. That's unfortunate.
Oh, it went dead when we were in the store.
Yeah.
Old little mom and pop store.
Yeah. With poor reception. Are you still using Rakuten for streaming?
Yes, yes.
Do you also have the habit of like switching to 4G when you stream?
I do.
Yeah.
Even though they've been sending me like SMS updates.
Yeah, I get
saying
those
that
as well. Like,
we're improving our 5G
Yeah,
network.
yeah, they have
Like-
really solid 5G coverage now in all of Tokyo, basically. But I still feel that it's a little bit more stable when you switch off 5G. I mean, now I haven't tried for during all this time I've been away, so I don't know if that has changed. But
I
at
find
least-
5G tends to drain my battery
that too.
a
Yeah,
lot more.
that's
than
also a
4G,
very
so-
very important point. Yeah. So yeah, it seems like a lot of people got like kicked out from the stream while we were in the liquor store. Now some of them are coming back.
So does your place have a car park where you
Yes,
are?
yes,
Okay.
it does.
So you'll actually be able to utilize it.
Yeah, I think the
That's
park is down here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and there's plenty of available slots. We have this, the cars stacked on top of each
okay.
other, and depending on like
Little elevator thing.
how convenient or inconvenient the location is, the monthly fee gets lower. So I think the cheapest spots are like 8,000 yen a month,
Okay.
and the more expensive ones are like closer to Nima. So there's quite a bit of wiggle room there. Oh,
What is
Whoa.
this? This is a seriously unsad park. Look at this. Oh
this
my
is
god.
actually fun.
What the? What the? What the? It's got an adventure bridge as
Yeah.
well. Sugoi.
I guess you are going to. It was not terribly fast. I think
I survived.
you're maybe. I think we're both too wide for this slide.
It is just a little bit too narrow.
Yeah. But yeah, let's sit down here and offend
Yeah,
a bunch
yeah,
of
we've-
people by having beer next to a playground. That's always American viewers tend to be a little
Don't do
bit
that. Don't do that.
rubbed the wrong way by doing that, but it's generally socially accepted to do so here in Japan. So let's.
Well,
do
as
that.
long as there's no kids around.
Yeah, there's no kids around even.
So it's only us, and this is quite a nice chair.
Yeah,
Nice viewpoint location.
yeah. Or wait, there's actually a beautiful pink tree down there. Let's see if we can have a little hanami, even
oh.
if it's just ume. But maybe if we can do a
Mini
hanami while having our beers. Then I think
Pretty.
there's nowhere to sit. Oh wait, up there we can sit. How do we get there? Maybe we have to take these. Oh yeah, we can walk up here. There are some benches here too. Because this tree is quite nice, right? Oh yeah, and we have some of these social distancing.
Social distancing chairs. This is an interesting park. It's like a circular park.
Yeah,
With all the playground equipment all around.
yeah. It is kind of interesting. And then, yeah, don't you dare want to sit next to anyone. It's only for introverts. Only for
This is the
introverts.
introvert park. Well, I guess you can sit there, closer to the action of the beautiful.
Someone asked how much of a super chat do you need for Daniel to slide down head first?
Oh, I don't know. Let's make it an orange. An orange super chat.
An orange super chat, he says. Let's Hanami.
Let's Hanami.
Let's socially distance.
Well, we scared that other guy.
Yeah, we did.
Away.
Yuka is here. Hi. Wait. Kanpai.
Kanpai. Welcome back to Japan.
Thank you. Feels good to be back. Yuka, are you done with your stream now? Let's see what else are people saying in the chat. Nothing. Okay. Yeah, no, it's really good to be back. And look, the skies are. It feels like it might clear up a little bit.
I think it's definitely going to clear up.
Yeah, that's nice. It's nice. We've had this grey and gloomy weather for the last couple of days.
Was Sweden quite gloomy in winter?
Yeah. I would say like 80% of the time it's like grey, and then when it's not grey, it's like really beautiful. And you know, we had some very nice winter days with like ice on the lake and like snow in the forest. Like it can be super beautiful and really, really enjoyable when the weather is like that. But problem is just that all the grey days are kind of it kind of saps out your willingness to live almost.
Or to leave the house, or?
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, the light really makes all the difference. Like if everything is beautiful around you or if everything is ugly around you. And we have a lot of ugly weather in Sweden. Lots of days like we had yesterday here in Tokyo. The ratio of sunny days is much lower than here.
Yeah, that's something my brother mentioned to me quite often, because he's just been here about a week ago. He was in Japan visiting from Papua New Guinea. So we went up to Nozawa Onsen for snowboarding. And he said that's one of the things he loves about Japan in the winter is that you get so many more clear blue skies, and even though it's winter, if it's not raining and it's blue skies, it's actually pretty warm.
Yeah.
So he was directly contrasting it to his time living in Berlin.
Yeah,
So he lived there for 6 years, and he said he hated winter because it was just so gloomy every day.
Yeah.
It was just like
No, but
overcast.
I often keep saying that too, that, you know, winters here in Japan are actually really nice. They're short, they're mild, lots of sunny days. So, yeah, it's really like everything about living here is good except the summers. And that's when Sweden is at its best. So the obvious
Summer was
thing to
pretty
do
rough.
is to just, continue spending the summers in Sweden and the rest of the year here.
It was definitely quite rough streaming in summer.
Yeah, you were here you've been here non-stop since
COVID, basically. But then we sort of did a little bit of travel last year because like my mum has been quite sick. But she's responding well to her chemo treatment, and she's due for like a surgery next week on the in 2 weeks, on the 19th. So then after that she'll hopefully come to Japan for maybe a month with my dad.
She lives in Papua New Guinea. Your parents live there,
yeah,
right?
but she's been having all of her chemo treatment in Singapore. So they've actually been bouncing around a lot to Malaysia, Thailand.
Right. Healthcare in PNG is maybe not that great. I see. Do you ever, like, you never go back to New Zealand, right?
No.
You don't really have much connections to
really.
that country.
I've got a lot of high school friends and old university friends who are still living in New Zealand, but both of my grandparents passed away on my dad's side and on my mum's side. So there's really, my dad has a sister, and then there's some cousins that live in Hamilton, close to Auckland, but there's not really a lot of
But you were
motivation.
born and raised there, and lived there up until high school age?
No, I was born in Christchurch in the South Island of New Zealand, and then I was raised in Papua New Guinea.
Oh, okay.
So I spent the first 6 years.
So Papua New Guinea is more like home to you. That's where you spent most of your life?
I've spent exactly 20 years in both countries. So, 20 years there, 20 years in New Zealand, and entering my 4th year here in Japan. So I guess I'll be here for the next
another 20 years? Yeah.
20 plus years
Plus
here
years
in Japan, I think.
yeah.
I don't see myself getting sick of Japan.
Yeah, I don't know, I can't compare. I mean, that part of the world where you're from is completely unknown to me. I've never even been to the southern hemisphere, unless maybe when I was in Singapore. I don't know if you do you cross over the equator when you're there? Like, Singapore is right on the equator, right?
Papua New Guinea is right on the equator as well. Singapore could be slightly south of the equator,
maybe.
I think.
But so, I just feel that with all the stuff happening in the world, which feels very relevant and close to us in Europe, I feel feels very good to be back in Japan, even though Japan is also, of course, going to be affected by this and that going forward, but at least it feels a little bit further away, and I often say that it feels like it's in its own little bubble. Even though things are not really going well, Japan has had this stagnant economy for all these decades, and the demographic crisis, all that is kind of says that Japan should not be doing as well as it is doing. But there is this feeling that everything is still fine here, and it will probably continue to be so for the foreseeable future.
Everything is fine kind of reminds me of that meme with the dog sitting at the keyboard
and the fire, the house is burning. Everything is fine. It's kind of like that. It's a little bit like that.
Everything is fine.
Yeah.
But I saw that just before you came back from Sweden, there was like a big school shooting or something in Sweden.
It was the worst mass shooting ever in Sweden. Maybe even the first mass shooting in Sweden, depending on...
Was that anywhere close to where you were?
It was pretty close to us, yeah. It was maybe by train 90 minutes away in the town. So yeah, just out of the blue, this basically socially isolated Swedish dude who went into an adult education facility and just killed people seemingly randomly. I think 10 people or so was shot, and it's like, it was horrible. We never had anything like that in Sweden before. So obviously everybody was very shocked. We've had there's been a lot of violence in Sweden. It's been, Sweden has a big...
Like some protests and stuff?
Not protests, but more like we have a gang problem and drug problems. Like basically gangs of youngsters killing each other to kind of keep their turf battles.
Okay. What are the main drugs that is marijuana legal in Sweden?
It's not legal, no. It's very widespread, the use. So yeah, there's like shootings, a lot of shootings, and of course that was another factor why we didn't stay longer in Sweden. Like we really missed. Like here in Japan, we can feel completely safe. Like you can't in Sweden. Like there might be someone in your neighborhood who is involved in those things, and then because they recruit minors to do either shootings or bombings. Because
they can't be tried as adults.
They can't, yeah, exactly. So the punishment they get, even if they're caught, is very, very mild. And at the same time, there's also this kind of glorification of this gang mentality and gang culture in Sweden. So a lot of youngsters are drawn to that culture. So it sounds like there's an endless queue of kids who just want to do those things so that they can buy brand name jackets and
Supreme
shoes.
Jackets.
Yeah. So it's a big problem. It's a big problem, and it's really you have 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds shooting each other. So that's also one of the reasons why we it feels like nowhere is really safe. Of course it is mostly in certain areas, but then every now and then you have a shooting happening in the middle of the city or in some neighborhood that is not at all problematic otherwise. So where we were staying in this small town, it was very peaceful, no shootings or anything like that had happened in the last couple of years. But still, in the house next to where we were living, there was always cars coming late at night, stopping for a few minutes and then driving away. We saw that several times, and I was like, it could, maybe they're doing something shady. Maybe someone will put a bomb there, and maybe we will wake up by our windows, getting blown out. And those kind of things, you never have to worry about that in Japan. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think now that we have a child and another one on the way, that Japan definitely feels safe, and sure, what would you say would be the biggest controversial, President Abe getting shot? That was pretty, came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was very
big.
Unexpected.
And because Japan has such strict gun laws.
Yeah.
Right? So the fact that he'd kind of 3D printed or made a homemade gun.
I mean, you have your fair share of crazy people in Japan. You have this, I was 10 plus years ago, there was this mass stabbing in Akihabara, which I was very, very close to when it happened. If I didn't, I've told the story before, but yeah, if I didn't make a stop to buy a coffee, I would be at the place where it happened at the time it happened. Wow. You have people like that. You have this Kyoani, the guy who killed dozens of people. So I mean, Japan
drove through Akihabara as well.
Yeah.
Ran over
so it's not I mean, Japan also has its fair share of crazy people. willing to hurt people, but still I would say it's pretty isolated events, and I just feel much safer here. It's happening. It's very rare that it happens here, but when it happens, it tends to be very violent, like very many deaths.
Yeah, I remember like 2 or 3 Christmases ago, there was like a big murder in Saitama between like a young kind of crazy guy and like a mixed Japanese family. Like he cut them up with a chainsaw and stuff like that. That was like 3 Christmases ago.
Wow.
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but fortunately it was nowhere near where we're living now.
Yeah. Okay.
So speaking of the safety of Japan, have you sort of kept up a little bit with all of the streamer drama that's been happening with all...
I've been following
like,
the news somewhat, and
nuisance streamers.
yeah. The last thing
What are your thoughts
I heard-
on nuisance streamers in Japan?
I wish that Japan would be tougher on them, because I'm personally invested. Like, I don't want people to think that of me and of us.
Yeah.
I don't want people to associate streaming with those kind of very bad behaviors. So that's one thing. But I also think, like
Like, do you think it's only that particular streaming platform?
it seems to be.
It seems to be.
That platform seems to be where all the
degeneracy.
worst pieces of crap of humankind
Like
are
if they're banned
gathering.
off YouTube, they're banned
Yeah,
off Twitch,
yeah.
then where else is there to stream?
Yeah,
But Kick.
yeah.
So,
So, yeah, I
and then Kick also seems to be very strongly tied with online gambling. as
I
well,
didn't know
so-
that, but I'm not surprised. But
Yeah, it's kind of like I kind of watch a few Kick streams or like recap streams of Kick streamers, because I was kind of friends with one of them that, or about 2 or 3 people actually, that like were streaming on Twitch before they joined with Kick right at the beginning.
okay,
And then they were like part of the initial crew, like the VIP premium Kick streamers, right? So they got sponsored by Kick to stream around Japan and wherever they were. But then they sort of went down a lot when they started traveling around Australia and back to Japan, then to South Korea. Then it all really became about creating drama for content,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, social media in general tends to bring out the worst in people, and especially when people make a living based off engagement.
Yeah, so
and, you know,
like if you have like 5,000, 10,000 people watching you, then it sort of gives you like a sense of invulnerability or something.
Yeah.
You're like, wow,
Yeah.
there's so many people watching me, I can't do anything wrong,
Yeah.
right?
So it's very sad that it has come to this, but unfortunately, I mean, we're very
Like we
the
live here.
technical development is both a blessing and a curse, right? I mean, it makes it possible for people like you and me to do those things like that we enjoy a lot, and we manage to, share our experiences with, now it's 132 people watching this, listening to this conversation. Those are 132 people I would never have been able to connect with in any way otherwise. And, being able to do my YouTube channel has brought me so much joy throughout the years. But whenever there's a new technology, you're also going to have to deal with people using it in bad and negative ways. And I don't think there's any way to fully protect yourself from that. But what I wish that these badly behaving streamers I kind of wish that there was a clearer kind of legal framework around what you can and cannot do. Because as it is right now, the laws in Japan are pretty gray. I've had problems too with like people getting offended. Like to some people, it's offensive to show other people's faces on stream, right? Like when you're streaming in Tokyo, obviously other people's face will show there, and that's kind of like unclear from a legal standpoint in Japan, what's allowed and what's not. I even consulted a lawyer about it a couple of years ago, and basically what he told me, like it's not a problem when you're on in a public space. If you film someone else, that's not illegal. However, if they can show that you have caused them any problems by doing so, then, and if they would take it to court, they would likely win. So it's like it's legal, but at the same time it's not. So I kind of wish that the rules were a little bit clearer, so that we all know the kind of rules of the game.
So technically all of these streamers, they're not resident in Japan, but they're coming and they're effectively working. How do you feel about that? Like if they're getting like super chats and stuff like that, and
that's also very gray, right? Like technically
milking Japan for content.
Technically you need a work permit to work in Japan, but at the same time, for example, I mean I have a background in journalism, and I know that foreign journalists, for example, they're allowed to come and travel to Japan temporary on a tourist visa and produce content, which is popular. I mean, it's called content these days, but basically write stories about Japan, to report on Japan. That's allowed to do under a tourist visa. I think in the case of streamers, I mean, you could make the point that what's the difference between a journalist and a streamer? And where do you draw the line? That's also something that kind of needs to be made more clearly. I'm not saying that streamers are equal to journalists, but I think, if some people are allowed to come and report on Japan while others aren't, then that line needs to be clearly defined, which it isn't right now. But I mean, personally, I don't see it's a problem. Like, if that's not allowed, and that kind of way of thinking extends to the whole world, then it's suddenly going to be very problematic to do anything when it comes to, like, for example, I worked a lot for travel magazines. If I suddenly need to apply for a visa every time I'm going to write something about a different country, then that would be a very bureaucratic nightmare.
Yeah, that would be such a hassle.
And sometimes I get requests from people asking me to travel to a different country to photograph, do a family shoot or a wedding shoot. If those things also always need a visa, it's also going to be very complicated. So basically the problem is that, as always, the laws, the legal framework is not keeping up to pace with the modern society. And I don't know. I don't have any easy answer to that, but I think everybody will benefit to knowing clearly what the rules are. If you're suddenly going to start requiring streamers to have a work permit in order to come to Japan, then what about people who post travel photos on Instagram? If they are monetized,
or come and film like there was TikTokers who are like doing pull-ups at Fushimi Inari.
Being an asshole should never be accepted, and everybody has an obligation to act responsibly wherever you are. So that's one thing, but I mean, I'm talking more about the whole kind of legal implications about making money from content when you're traveling. But of course, everybody who travels to Japan should behave. That's just common sense.
Yeah, if you wouldn't do it in your own country, then don't do it here.
Yeah, I mean, probably these people would do those things in their own country too.
That's
but
true.
And then
But it's sort of like they feel that they haven't been punished, or the likelihood of them being punished by the Japanese police, etc., is
But
so low.
Yeah, and that's
they're
also
gonna
very,
take that.
very problematic, because it's like, it's one thing to behave badly, and it's something else to break the law. A lot of things are you're legally allowed to do them, but that doesn't mean that you should do them. Sometimes, I mean,
Japan definitely has a lot of unwritten
yeah,
social rules.
yeah.
So a lot of those are being broken.
I kind of wish that the Japanese government would make a little kind of manual that kind of educates visitors to Japan about, because many times it's not about people intentionally wanting to behave badly. Sometimes it's
like
just
they
that
don't
the cultural norms in Japan are pretty difficult, especially if you're someone visiting here for the first time. You don't know that much about Japan, you haven't done your research, you're just thinking like, oh, I will visit, I will go. Like when I'm traveling to, if I'm traveling from Sweden to France, I'm not reading up on the local customs. I'm not doing any studies.
Please
because
read this
I'm just
book.
assuming that things are kind of the same as they are back home. And the problem right now is that Japan is having this boom in tourism. We're having a lot of people coming here who they're not genuinely that interested in Japan. It's just a holiday for them. Which is very different compared to like before the pandemic, when I've been dealing with tourists for a long time, and it used to be that everybody who came here, or everybody I met, to them it was like a kind of lifelong dream to discover Japan, to come here. They were very interested. They were mostly very concerned about doing things the right way. They wanted to make sure that they were not offending anyone. Now people are coming here because it's the new Thailand. It's a cheap country where you can,
the currency.
Yeah,
is
the currency
definitely motivated a lot more people to come here.
attracts a different kind of travelers. So I kind of wish that there was a little bit of a sort of manual, just in a funny way. In the same way we have this lovely posters
like a little
educating
manga
people
or
about,
something.
like educating people about the manners on the trains here. Like I wish they did something similar, but like a small pamphlet that they gave to tourists, and that there was more effort into into educating visitors. Of course, the problem is that probably a lot of people wouldn't bother. They're not interested. They wouldn't care. But I think some effort to kind of educate the tourists would be good. I also think that maybe now that Japan is seeing this wave of mass tourism, unfortunately also Japanese people need to kind of increase their tolerance a little bit. I'm not saying that they should accept people doing push-ups at a shrine, absolutely not. But maybe certain things.
Like it even hit the news. There was like a kick streamer who threw like a ice ball.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that kind of things.
At like a volunteer up at the Sapporo
I mean,
Ice Festival.
that's
was
that's
like
just
on
common sense.
every channel.
That's not okay
like
anywhere.
NHK.
That's not okay anywhere.
Yeah.
And those people should. I mean, that could probably qualify as some sort of assault.
That should definitely be assault, and he should have been.
So it's not okay. But I also do think that it kind of takes two to tango. And now when Japan is seeing this massive increase in tourists, maybe a little bit more acceptance to that people come from different cultures is unfortunately needed.
So do you think those streamers are in a different class to, say, influencers, right? Like influencers coming to Japan to create content that motivates other people who see their Instagram reel or TikTok video to come to Japan. They're kind of beneficial for Japan as a whole, for tourism.
Yeah.
But like nuisance streamers coming and just like causing chaos in Japan.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Again, it doesn't matter if you stream or not,
be...
if you have a following on social media or not. Like, behaving badly is never okay. Period. And I wish that the authorities would be a little bit tougher on those people who obviously just want to make, like, you know, upset people. I think a little bit of, I mean, of course there has to be a bit of leeway. Some people are breaking the rules because they don't know. Like I saw one video the other day of some like very aggressive Japanese person at some ski resort approaching some non-Japanese couple because they were like smoking in the wrong, like they were outdoors. It was in a ski resort, and very aggressively like yelling at them that they could not smoke there, which, you know, again, it's like that's maybe not the best way of educating people. And when you're aggressive to someone, they tend to be aggressive back. So that was maybe not a very productive thing to do. But yeah, again, it's also, people need to be aware of the rules, basically. Anyway, let me read up on the chat. Now I've been very engaged in this discussion.
He's been getting some stuff off his chest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely good to have.
Someone says, I think
colleague.
that Japan needs to put in a 5,000 to 10,000 yen entry visa for travelers. Well, Japan already has, isn't it an exit tax? I think it's like
Exit tax.
a
Really?
small fee that's charged through the airline when you leave Japan.
Okay.
But that obviously that
that's
goes,
sort of like
that
one of
doesn't
those
matter.
hidden
It
taxes.
applies to everyone, regardless if you're a tourist or not. I think a tourist tax makes a lot of sense, especially if the money goes to improving the infrastructure, so that you know, for example, Kyoto is a mess, right? Because of all the tourists there and the lack of public transportation and everything. So I think it makes sense, and they are.
The bird is like right
yeah.
on that, really close. Is that like a mejiro?
I don't think that's a mejiro, no. I don't think so. So yeah, Kyoto is changing. They're charging more now. I think it's through the hotels and accommodations. They have sort of
it's
tourist
definitely not as inflated as places up in Sapporo, like up in Hokkaido, like Niseko is crazy expensive. Like,
yeah, but that's
unaffordable.
That's
for
just
local
capitalism. That's not the tourist tax. That's just like the
people
free
are like,
market's
oh,
getting its way.
We can charge this.
Yeah.
So, and people will still pay it because they're here and they're committed.
Yeah.
Right. So.
So that's a different thing, but
because that was
I
like
think
a
it makes. Shall we get going?
Yeah. The wind is getting a little cold.
And let's start heading back towards Shinjuku. I just have 25% battery left, so let's see if we can make it back to the station before my battery dies.
Should definitely be able to. This is definitely a very nice park.
Yeah, it is, and it's
interesting.
definitely the first time I'm here. I'll remember this place. I'll remember this slide.
Got a little gazebo kind of thing here, and
This looks like it could either
like this
be
architecture seems kind of like something you'd see in New York or something,
Yeah, this one.
like around Central Park.
You think so?
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
like it just seems more Western than Japanese. Does this only go downhill? So do you think we should be going more that way? Okay.
Yeah, low battery warning coming up. And since I have the mic attached, I can't charge. Or maybe, I don't know if this supports pass-through charging. But let's wrap up the video before the battery dies. But yeah, I definitely feel like already lots of the number of tourists are even higher now than 8 months ago when I left Japan. My brief visit to Shinjuku already clearly showed that. So it's difficult, right? I mean, I make a big part of my living thanks to the tourists coming to Japan. So of course, more tourists means better business for me. But I think it's important to also not just blindly welcome tourists without also at the same time, educating people, improving the infrastructure, doing things to make it more sustainable. And that's the tricky part. And I mean, Japan is trying to spread out the tourists to make them go to places less visited.
Places like Fukui
Fukui, yeah. I mean, I've been quite involved in that kind of work as well. So there's a lot of money being spent on it, and I think eventually it will pay off. But I mean, it just makes sense that everybody comes to Japan for the first time.
Japan
they always
has so much to
they
offer.
always want to see Tokyo and Kyoto and maybe
Osaka.
Hiroshima. Yeah. So these tourist numbers are higher than pre-pandemic. Yeah. Every year since Japan opened again, tourism has broken new records every year, and almost pretty much every month. Just keeps growing and growing. So
Central Glory Church. That looks like a Korean
another church.
Are we sort of on the edge of Shinjuku?
Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for an interesting talk, T and Daniel. Topic was serious but somehow soothing. Peace to everyone. Thank you, Lemmy.
Lemmy-chan.
Arigato.
Can we just go past this vending machine to ditch the cans?
Yes.
Oh, and we've got some secret safety cones down here, green ones. And then more regular ones down there.
How's your language learning going? Do you
I have actually been going to Japanese language school at the community centre.
Oh, okay.
Once a week.
That's nice.
On a Monday from 10 until 11:30 and it costs 100 yen. It's so crazy cheap.
Yeah.
90 minutes of like one-on-one, one-on-two lesson is 100 yen. So I'm just working through the Genki book, like some of the earlier chapters, because when I went to Japanese language school in Yokohama, I actually jumped and started at like chapter 15 in the Genki book.
Okay.
Because I already knew hiragana and katakana and could read some kanji. So I was already more advanced than starting from chapter 1. But I missed a lot of the foundational core Japanese that you get from those early chapters. So that's sort of been the good thing about the community center, is it's been able to help me sort of pick up some of
those are really great. Oh wow, thank you. Back in the clay.
Oh,
just dropped a $50 super chat.
What?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Arigato. Back in the clay. Clayson.
Lunch
Thank
fund.
you.
Let's disconnect this. Let's hope that you can hear us now.
It's not so windy.
Yeah, it's not so windy now, so that's a good thing. Can you guys hear us? The battery in the mic receiver, is it battery powered though? I mean, I thought the mic receiver was using...
Yeah, the microphones still have battery, but
the receiver. But it should be drawing the power from the phone, I thought, but maybe not. Ah, sound is back. Okay, great. Great. Yeah. Mic receiver died. But now we're back. Now you can hear us. Oh, okay, we're actually really close to Åkerbo station. That's just down here. So that's good. It gives us a natural point to wrap up today's stream. 2 hours we made. We did a 2-hour stream. Shall we go for lunch together after the stream?
Sounds good.
Yeah. Thanks again, Clay. I don't know if you heard my thanks before or if that was after the mic died, but thank you so much for the super generous super chat. Thank you. Did we see Philippe's donation?
Felipe,
Not
that
sure
must be
who's
yellow.
Felipe. No, that was Lemmy. I don't think I saw anyone besides Lemmy and Clay. No, I didn't get any other donations, or not showing up here at least. So before we wrap things up, I also want to say that I'm planning to do a Patreon only live stream from our little family trip this coming weekend. So
Yamanashi.
in Yamanashi, yes. So if you are interested in that, if you are interested in supporting my channel, please consider joining me on Patreon to get access to those things. I'll see if I can do a regular stream while we're away as well. Not sure about that, but
Felipe gifted he
subs.
gifted a membership.
Thank you. That doesn't show up here.
No, gifted memberships.
No problem. Clay says, I hear it now. No problem. You are an inspiration, my YouTube sensei. Thank you, Clay. Thank you.
Yep, I see it there.
Yeah, I will see. Thank you, Felipe. Thank you. Very nice of you.
Shinjuku, but we're nearly at Okubo.
Åkerbo, yes. Åkerbo. Yeah, maybe I should check if my local authorities offer cheap lessons like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I now that we're back here and we're planning to live in Japan for at least a couple of more years, I would like to level up my Japanese. It's Japanese, I think, is one of those things that almost never, you will never feel that you've learned enough. You always have room to improve more.
It's kind of weird. Like at the end of the lesson, I always kind of feel guilty for only like putting 100 yen, like 100 yen on the table.
Yeah,
to pay.
it's too
like,
cheap.
Oh my gosh, this
Too cheap.
this
You
feels like
know
I'm
what I
stealing.
craved right now? I actually crave Koko Ichiban. I haven't had that in I don't know how long.
8 months. At least.
I have a weak spot for their curry.
Yeah. How spicy can you get?
I'm not one of those people who think that eating more spicy curry makes you a better person. So I don't know. I've never challenged myself.
I think my strongest I've done is 12, which is pretty spicy. But I think it goes up to 15.
Wow, 15, that's high. Yeah, we're in front of Åkerbo station. I think this is a good place to wave goodbye, despite the streets being very crowded. But yeah, 2 hours. Thank you, Daniel, for joining me. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And I hope that I'll see you all soon again, and I hope that you enjoyed our little conversation in the park about nuisance
rant.
streamers and mass tourism in Japan. It's been a good one. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye bye. Hej då. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf
Matane.
Wiedersehen.
Tschüss.